NFL free agency starts in a couple of months. Chris Lovitt and I look at the top 15 free agents and talk about where they might sign. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more NFL videos. And the next up at number 6, I have one of the Super Bowl linebackers, or one of the linebackers that's going to be playing in the Super Bowl for the Buccaneers, Lavonte David. And he's already in his 30s, but he's not slowing down. And together with Devin White, he's really like forming one of the best linebacker duos in the league. And yeah, he's just great in coverage and all around. And you just need that veteran leadership on at such an important position as linebacker. So I think the Buccaneers will definitely try to keep him there and sign him to a contract extension.
Yeah, for sure. He's everything that you would want from a linebacker in the NFL in 2020 or 2021 now. Yeah, he's super good in coverage. He's really athletic, and yeah, he's again someone who could just plug into most teams. He's very versatile. And yeah, there's some teams across the league with some pretty weak linebacking corps. And, when you've got the tight ends and running backs, and you ask these linebackers to do so much now, he is one of the few that can pretty much cover all of those assignments. I would probably expect him to stay in Tampa Bay, definitely. I know they've got quite a few big names there, but they are actually set up quite well to sign and hold on to quite a few of their players. And I think Lavonte David will stay there as well.
And who do you have at number 7?
So at number 7, I've gone for Shaq Barrett. We know he's put up some great sack numbers, and sometimes some of those can be, a bit empty, with sacks in garbage time towards the end of blowouts. But I think he's, had another fairly good season this year. And he could be a player that a team would sign on a shorter term deal. If you're just looking to kind of boost up sack numbers and really get better when it comes to rushing the passer, because I think what he's evolved into is mainly a pass rusher now. He's fairly solid against the run, but any team's looking for a pass rush specialist, I think Shaq Barrett is the best person on the market to fill that role.
Yeah, I mean he was the sack leader a year ago, and even though his numbers were kind of down this season, he proved again against Green Bay how valuable he can be as a pass rusher. He had 3 sacks against them in the championship game. So I think just like with Lavonte David, I think the Buccaneers are gonna try and see if they can keep him there. And obviously this year he was playing under the franchise tag, so I don't think they're gonna try to tag him again. So maybe they try to figure out a long-term option with him. But yeah, like you said, otherwise any contender would be happy to pay him top dollar just for maybe a year, just to help them contend for a Super Bowl. And yeah, then next up at number 8, I would have our first safety in our top 15. It would be Anthony Harris from the Vikings. Like he has shown ability to be just a great all-around safety. Like he can read the routes and read the quarterback at the same time, and he always is kind of there to make the big plays. So I think he should be ready for a big time deal this year. Or otherwise, if the Vikings are not gonna give it to him, maybe I could see him maybe go to a team like the Washington football team, who have enough cap to kind of and are in need of a safety.
Yeah, and he's become a real specialist ball hawk in that defense. He's rarely ever up at the line of scrimmage. He's normally always the furthest defender back and always looking to be that playmaker back there. The thing with Minnesota, and it's potentially a problem that they may run into, is that they're gonna need to extend Harrison Smith next off season as well. You would obviously expect that to be a fairly large contract. If they extend Anthony Harris, you would expect that to be a pretty big contract as well. And although they've been a fantastic duo for the Vikings, how much of your cap, especially when we're expecting a slightly shrunken cap, how much of that do you want to put into your safety position? With that being said, I think he tests the market. The safety market, and especially the free safety market, is pretty weak this offseason. Justin Simmons is another one who springs to mind, but it's fairly weak. And yeah, any team looking to get better at safety, yeah, this is definitely the guy. And I think he can use that to command a fairly big deal somewhere.
Yeah, then at number 9, I have the first kind of guard on our list. For me is Brendan Scherf from the Washington football team. Like he was just very consistent over the past 3 seasons. He's always been one of the best guards in the league, and yeah, he can do it all. He shows the power at the point of the attack, and also his quickness when he has to pass block. So he's probably, yeah, like I said, one of the best guards in the league, and I don't think the Washington football team can afford to let like a franchise guard like this get away. So I think he's going to get quite a lucrative deal and stay in Washington for a long time.
Yeah, and the thing that surprised me that I found out when looking over the free agents is that Scherf is only 29. It feels like he's been around forever, and it seems like he's been one of the best guards in the NFL forever. And yeah, he's really a really dependable guy. He can do it in both the run and pass games. And I know guard can tend to be a fairly undervalued position sometimes, but if you look across the league at the best offenses with the best guards in there, yeah, they really can make a huge difference. And I would probably expect Scherf to stay in Washington. But yeah, he's definitely played himself into a very nice contract. And yeah, I would expect him to stay where he is. Yeah, I've got Will Fuller at number 10 as well. Fuller in that Texans offense was Deshaun Watson's favorite target this year, obviously with them trading DeAndre Hopkins. But I think Will Fuller's proved he's more than capable of being that number 2 receiver. And he made a pretty good case for being the number 1 receiver. There was very little other talent on that Texans roster, and Fuller still managed to, consistently make plays, consistently make big plays down the field. And he can be sort of a Tyreek Hill guy, and by that I don't mean obviously as good as Tyreek Hill, but someone to stretch the field. And we've seen what Tyreek Hill does for Hardman and Kelsey working underneath, and I think Fuller could do that for an offense as well. Really stretch the field for them.
Yeah, I mean he has great potential and great speed. That's why he was a first round pick back then when he was drafted. But obviously the big concern is just he cannot really stay healthy. Like he's never played 16 games in a single season so far. And even though this year was his most productive one, he still he served a 6-game suspension for PED, which could kind of hinder his ability to get that big contract. But I mean, the Packers wanted to trade for him at the trade deadline, and they could use like a number 2 receiver behind Lavonte Adams. So I could see him go to the Packers. I mean, he's definitely not going to come back to Houston because they just have no money to kind of give him a big contract. So I could see maybe the Packers as potential landing spot.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously Fuller and Davante Adams would be very, very hard to shut down. And yeah, I think Packers would be a perfect spot for him as well.